Hey kiddos. So, over time, I have found that I have kind of this unrelenting need to compartmentalize and outright ignore my trauma. And in that metaphor has made it easier to tackle some of these topics for me, kind of analyzing it from my periphery. Yeah. And so I wanted to share with you something I wrote on a topic that is rather complicated for me, extremely complicated, and difficult to unpack. And it's going to seem kind of, I guess, innocuous, but this is a pretty heavy thing for me. Um, I guess I'll just go ahead and read it. It's called Sock in a Tree. I never much liked birds, be they flightless or not. I've always found them rather annoying, though in recent years I've seen that they have quite a bit of personality. I just don't care for them in the way that many animal lovers do. Though I like to consider myself an animal lover, I find that there are actually few things that I love about any living creature. Well, I find birds to be the perfect intersection of self aware creatures and lizard brain personality-less beings, like the automaton of the animal kingdom. Interestingly enough, I don't find them relatable. I, for the most part, find them annoying. Of course, I know they're a vital part of any ecosystem, but to me, they're entirely a nuisance. They're loud and always shitting on things. What's there to love? But I saw a sock in a tree. There wasn't anything special about it, no writing or pattern, just a regular black sock. This sock had obviously been repurposed as material for a nest by some ingenious bird who came across it one day and decided it was theirs. I took a few minutes to reflect on it. The sock was worn and had twigs woven through it, making it just as much a part of the nest as all the other material the bird had collected. It was an essential part of the nest, though it could no longer be used for its original purpose. It served to protect its inhabitants from the elements, to shelter this bird and its progeny from predation and injury. I found it interesting that this sock was meant for something else but ended up being utilized in a way that wouldn't have been anticipated. In seeing that, I couldn't help but think of the sock's original owner. They almost certainly didn't willfully relinquish their property to this bird. And of course, the sock is such a small possession. There really isn't much sentiment or meaning behind it, but what if it had been something important? What if the owner prescribed a great deal of meaning into this garment only to have it taken away and damaged beyond repair so that they can't use it ever again? What if this essential part of this bird's life was gained at the expense of someone else losing something equally essential? Does it make it any better for the previous owner to take back what was theirs even if they no longer can use it? Is there peace in destroying something essential to the bird because they destroyed something essential to create it? Is it better that no one wins if the gains were ill begotten to begin with? I'd like to think I wouldn't destroy the nest, but I already have. So that is Sock in a Tree. And I like to think that we all think of ourselves as ultimately altruistic, but I don't know. I feel like I'm petty as fuck. I feel like if something was taken from me that was vital, important, if it was taken away by somebody, a stranger, a friend, family, loved one, anyone, and repurposed to the point that I can no longer use it, I feel like that's unfair. And of course, I'm not talking about something concrete. This is more of a conceptual thing. But I'd like to ask you guys to think about it. Do you feel as though it's fair to have something taken from you and adulterated to the point that you can no longer use it? But it's somehow important to whoever has taken it from you, to the point that if you took it back, it would destroy a part of them. I know two wrongs don't make a right, but it feels real good to know that someone is suffering that's caused you suffering. Not real good, but good enough. And maybe I'm sounding vindictive. I mean, this is just about a sock and a tree. But again, it's a metaphor for something that is really important to me and has caused a great deal of heartache. Do you think it's fair? Would you take your sock back? Would you destroy the nest? Or would you leave it? I don't know. Yeah, this week I decided to do some more mouth words. It's been a minute since I've done one, and I have plenty of stuff to read to you guys, so I figured I would go ahead and do a mouth words. And I'm working on the deodorant video. I'm just having a hard time organizing it in a way that is coherent and isn't like an hour long. Trying to figure out a way to present it in a consumable manner. But yeah, think on it. Think about the sock in the tree. Think about your sock in that tree. How important is it to you? To me, it's pretty goddamn important. Yeah, I'll talk to y'all later.